To those of you with families, or God forbid children, I am deeply, deeply sorry. You must push on. Do not let their deaths be in vain. We do still have time. Humanity may still have a future. Come to Site 19. We need all the hands we can get. Learn to embrace the darkness, my friends. Fear the light.
Welcome, my dear fellow explorers, to the world of anomalous phenomenon. Today we are going to be covering one of the most terrifying anomalies in the SCP Foundation's archives. Imagine our life-giving star that brings us both warmth and light finally turns against us and makes our lives and the world as we know it a living nightmare. This is SCP-001 When Day Breaks, the ultimate nightmare apocalyptic event where our sun becomes the destroyer of life. For those who don't know, the SCP Foundation is a fictional organization dedicated to protecting, containing, and researching different dangerous anomalies and entities to further understand their abilities and keep them hidden from the public. SCP-001 When Day Breaks is not a single entity or anomaly, but an apocalyptic event where an unknown anomalous force has altered the sun, making it a hostile force for humanity and every living being on Earth. When the SCP-001 event occurred, the sun underwent a transformation. While these transformations were subtle at first, it soon became apparent that the sun now is a deadly anomalous force. When human, animals, or any other biological living being, including other anomalous creatures, get in contact or exposed to direct sunlight, they soon will start to literally liquefy and melt into a gelatinous substance. This process is very reminiscent of melting wax. While this transformation would be absolutely horrifying to witness or even talk about, it sadly does not end there and the horror continues. While these poor melted individuals are now unrecognizable to human beings, they are not actually dead. They are still alive, sort of. Once these individuals complete this disturbing transformation, they are unfortunately far from benign or friendly. The former human beings become a mindless, hostile creature that has one singular purpose: to catch anybody who has not been transformed and force them into the sunlight and join them in the horrific fate, so they too will be a part of the giant mass of melted human beings. As you can already imagine, after this catastrophic event, civilization has crumbled and collapsed. Cities become graveyards, or at least get filled with these giant twisted gelatinous monsters. While the normal tasks of the SCP Foundation is to contain creatures that are anomalous and keep them from the public, the SCP-001 event made that task impossible. You cannot contain the sun or the light it produces, and there is no longer a point to keep the world of the anomalous hidden from the population, since the population is now reduced to melted gelatinous goo. And even all the survivors now know that the anomalous events now exist. Obviously, the SCP Foundation did not have this situation under control, since almost the entirety of the human race was reduced into these gelatinous hostile monsters who soon start to attack the SCP Foundation containment sites, and many sites have now become overrun by these creatures, and even survivors who escaped these attacks have to seek shelter underground in the darkness, and all of them are now desperately trying to avoid the sun that once sustained them. It is also crucial to understand that the SCP-001-A entities don't only just resort to physical violence, such as breaking down doors or walls, in order to drag the remaining survivors outside into the light to join them, but the entities do seem to have some resemblance of their former selves. Many survivors have reported that the -A entities do seem to have memories from their former self, and it appears that they can use those past memories to their advantage. These gelatinous creatures can use voices of their former selves in order to manipulate and fool survivors into believing that they're their loved ones. Many of these creatures can mimic voices of children, family, or spouses in order to successfully fool the survivor into coming outside and joining them. While it seems to be incredibly difficult to survive in the new world, the SCP Foundation is working tirelessly to develop underground bunkers and securing facilities, and they're even trying to develop a space program to gather all the remaining survivors to escape the Earth and to live life in a dark planet. The remaining Foundation staffs are ordered to avoid all sunlight at all costs and also avoid the -A creatures. However, many Foundation staff and operatives have sadly not made it or has become a part of the mass after they attempt rescue missions. After this event, this is obviously an event that cannot be contained in the traditional sense, so the Foundation is doing whatever they can to either reverse the effect or to escape Earth as they know it, since Earth is no longer a place to call home. There are so many unanswered questions. Who or what caused this event? Is this an anomalous attack? Or is it just simply our time has ended on Earth? We may never know. But the SCP Foundation researchers are continuously working hard to find an answer and the solution to this world-ending catastrophe. But the most terrifying part about this event is that the monsters are still hunting for the few survivors left. They are almost impossible to kill, and even though hurting them is possible, it will not do much in slowing them down, and running from them would be a better option. But regardless, they will start up at nothing until everyone on Earth becomes one of them. But at the end of this catastrophe, an estimated casualty count has been estimated to to be over 6 billion human beings, almost the entire human population of the Earth. But even then, please remember that there may never be a reversal of this catastrophe, and it may be the end of the world as we know it. The SCP-001 When Daybreak scenario is not just a regular containment breach, but also the downfall of society and humanity as we all know it. Even though many of the SCP creatures are very dangerous, this is by far the most dangerous because it is one of the few anomalies that are given the Apollyon level class, meaning it is completely impossible to contain and may never find a solution. This is one of the most horrifying and terrifying SCP anomalies in the SCP Foundation's archives because theoretically this can happen at any time. Imagine you are going to school or going to work or just going outside for a lovely walk because it's such a beautiful day outside. But all of a sudden, the color of the sun changes and all you can remember is the pain of you melting into a gelatinous substance. It is such a good thing that this is a fictional story, at least for now. I further want to express my gratitude and thanks to everyone who watched my first SCP Foundation Archives coverage of the When Daybreak scenario. It has been a pleasure to have you guys supporting me and following me in our creepy adventures. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment to see what anomalies you want me to cover next. Thank you and stay safe and curious.